Hi guys, it's Sonelias and welcome back to this Let's Play of Hearts of Iron number 4, which we're going to be playing as the Central American Empire. So let's load that game to start off with. So it takes a second and let's get going. As you can see, we already got a nice decent bit of territory here, but it's really Central America that we basically got here. It's not a big chunk, it's just a united section here. We of course do have some diplomatic actions that are currently not progressing because of one of the things that we had last time. We had some unrest in the armies, which basically led us to having negative political power. Now, we are not currently pursuing any particular national focus, which of course should help us in recovering political power relatively quickly. Kiev has fallen. Interesting. Kiev. So that's of course here in the European region. Interesting. Is that Kiev? No. Cherkasy. Okay. It looks like the Germans are making some progress here, particularly in the southern region. Ooh, we've finished some research. Let's have a look what we can do with that. We can of course go on to the next one. And we're in 1943, so it makes sense for us to basically increase our construction speed still further. Let's see if we can do anything here. No, it looks like we got everything already done here, so yeah, construction speed is a useful one to have. We're also working on new weapons and so forth, so yeah, we're making some progress here. There's not really much happening in our home territory. There's maybe some potential invasion attempts, but that's pretty much it. And luckily we've got all of our troops set to defend our territory. We got a manpower position here of what looks like at the moment it's 66,000, 67,000 thereabouts. And currently we only have 10.7% of our population or manpower available, which should climb up to 12% in total. Ooh. Quite happy to sign that non-aggression pact with them. What's happening to our trade position currently? Are we exporting anything? Yes, we are exporting oil to other parties. Ooh, yeah, one of the things I was looking at potentially doing is actually reducing our imports. So let's go for this one here to start off with. If I reduce my imports substantially, which we can of course do here. We're importing aluminum. Let's have a look at our aluminum position here. We're importing 16. Let's bring that down to only importing 8. We're also importing a fair amount of steel from the various different parties, including the Soviet Union here, as you can see. Peru, Argentina. This is a really, really poor one. We're only importing 4. That is a relatively low one as well. We're going to actually reduce that number down to something more manageable. Sorry, how much were we actually committing here? We were committing 3, so let's bring that down to 1. Let's bring that down to 0 really. I know this will actually impact upon, of course, our production. One of the key things I wanted to do is I wanted to make more factories available to actually help produce my own factories. Now this factory here will be finished by, it looks like December, which is about 2 months away from where we stand at the moment. So if I'm able to increase the number of factories I've got, that should of course hopefully help me boost my production. Now I'm building here civilian factories, as you can see, and of course those civilian factories will help quite nicely. Ooh, what do we got here? Restore order to the military. Okay. Crisis. What can I do here? I can't really do much here, can I? I know it's telling me that I have to do something. Take decision and react to events. Are they talking about this one here? Yeah, it looks to be the case. I can't do anything though with it. Ooh, that will basically change to extensive mutinies. That is most definitely not good. What can I do? There's nothing I can do here. What can I do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So war support is actually plummeting, as you can see. Surrender limit is minus 10.8. Stability is suffering. Really, really poor stability. Nice. So that's improved substantially. We of course have our marines here, and we can already research the next level of marines if we wanted to. Maybe I want to basically go for something down this line here. And I'm already researching this one here, so that's great. Ground support I could go for here. Can I actually research the next level of fighters or anything of that sort? Naval bombers I can go for. I think that's a useful one to go for, because at least I can basically try to take out the enemy ships that are basically in my area here all the time. Alright, we are here engaging an enemy fleet, it looks like. We're basically engaging their transports. Okay, our submarines are doing okay here, I would say. There's no commander assigned to that. Well, that looks to be a naval commander that they're talking about here. Alright, we sunk them, which is great. Again, like I said, there's nothing we can do at the moment in terms of restoring the order in the military. Such a pity. I'm not sure what to do with that. Unassigned divisions. Okay, one of these here, if I'm not mistaken, is that this one here? So if I just change this to Marines. Oops, capital letters too many. Marines. Okay, so if I now basically assign this one here over to the Marines, that would be quite useful. And this one, of course, should already be assigned to that general there. One more Marine division, and that should be it, really. Am I actually recruiting more or not? No, I'm not at the moment, and I cannot actually not do more anyways. So we're allowed a total of 24, it looks like. What are we fighting? Gain base stability. Ah, removes the mutinies. Nice, good speech. So that's been a good event, it looks like. War propaganda. This one here says restore order in the military. That's happened apparently. It says failed. Why has it failed? I'm pretty sure we got a positive outcome of that. Yeah, no, diplomatic actions cannot be fulfilled at the moment. So what's happening here at the moment? If we look at the composition here, we got a fairly fascist backing here. When is the next election? In 1946. That's still 3 years away from now. Yeah, a bit of a pity. 28% fascist. We're sinking more transports, which is great. At least base stability has increased here, which is good. Generally speaking, we're not able to do much, I would say. At least that's what it looks like. From a research perspective, I think we are going to get the naval bombers to be completed the first. I suspect I will actually want to go for the next tier of naval bombers afterwards. I probably also want to instigate or start off at least the production of some of those naval bombers. So as you can see, we're still working on these factories here. I'm not sure, do I need to really do this? Ecuador. I've got here orders to basically expand our naval base. I probably can remove that from there. What? Why has this happened? I'm going to add that to the top of the list. Costa Rica. Let's pause the game for a second and let's look at basically, can we do more research here? We could research the next tier here, but I think I'm going to go for the next tier of fighters first. Naval battle results. Ah, look at that. We're able to sink more transports. Now they were accompanied by some other ships, which we're currently still engaging some of those, so that's fine. Naval combat. There is it looks like there is an invasion planned here in Central America, plus another invasion here in this part here. Okay. I don't see any of that really happening yet, but okay. If that is what is on the table, then yes, so be it. The fall of Pearl Harbor. Japanese forces have stormed and taken Honolulu. Well, that's interesting. That's quite an interesting development. So if we look at here, then we see that this is now Japanese. And the other islands are not Japanese yet. It's just this one island here. Of course, that's not how it really happened back in our own time, but it's quite an interesting development to see. Am I actually allied with them in some way? Sorry, I'm looking for the Japanese here. They are... they're in a different sphere. They're not on the same party as the Germans. So they've got their own little sphere here, but they've got non-aggression pacts with Germany and so forth. Okay. I can ask for military access. I cannot give it for some reason. I need one more positive for negative reasons. Okay. Okay. We already have a non-aggression pact with them, so that's good. Polish-Romanian alliance. Okay. So the Japanese have taken the other island here already. That's good. We're able to take out more of their ships here, it looks like. Now, we, of course, have got more ships ready and in port already. So let's basically commit these to the actual fight here as well. Right, so these ships are operating here in front of the Peruvian coast. I was kind of hoping to be able to retake control of this land here. These ships are joining the others there. Perfect. Yeah, so they're the latest design of submarines, as you can see. In terms of research, how are we doing? We're doing well, it looks like. We're going to complete that infantry weapon research relatively quickly. And in terms of construction, we should see that this one is going to complete in March. Perfect. Alright. 1944, we are now here. Let's upgrade our Marines to the next tier yet again. That will basically increase their organization, which is perfect. I would rather be hoping that we could somehow basically get our hands on... What have we got currently in place here? Plans, of course, to invade from here. Can I execute those? No, because I'm lacking intelligence on the Caribbean seas. Right, let's have a look at our navy here. This admiral here. Let's send these ships firstly back to port here. Okay, there they go. So it's not this one, it's the smallest one here. Currently in front of the Peruvian coast. And then afterwards I want to commit it to, of course, doing a bit of search and destroy. One of the things I haven't done yet, I haven't actually committed anything to producing those new naval bombers. Let's commit some of our resources to that. Now, as you can see, I'm currently basically working on upgrades, which is fine. I'm going to basically put some of my commitments into the production there. This is more for reinforcements, which is fine. So I'm doing okay in terms of production here. That will steadily start increasing. And ultimately, hopefully, we'll reach a production efficiency of more than 100%. And as you can see, we are suffering here because, of course, our, in terms of production, I should maybe say, because of what we're basically getting here. Stockpiling at the moment, it looks like here is happening for the support equipment. So you can potentially reduce that. So we're reducing that already, as you can see. That should then steadily give us more commitment to our fighters. Let's reduce that down to 4 factories. And that should all be going towards reinforcements. At least that's what it says here. So in terms of stockpiles, I don't have any naval bombers yet, but we are producing them. So we should be getting some of those in the next 10 days at least. I guess we get the first one. Look at that. The Canadians are trying to invade. They're not really having too much luck there, are they? Getting from the Mexican coast, we are engaging here some transports. Invasion, of course, planned there. Another invasion planned here, it looks like. Let's actually have a look at what we can actually do here. It's lots of fighters I can commit here. I don't want to commit any fighters at the moment. What's our current... it looks like we could potentially use some extra fighters here. So let's maybe do, after all, commit some of those after all. So let's put 30 into that position here. And again, we're going to basically go for aerial superiority in that region there. Where else have we got air bases that we could maybe put some planes to? Now, have I got some of my own fighters here? Yes, I do. That's 30 fighters that are committed here already. Any other airports here? Maybe want to basically commit another batch of planes here. Let's do that in a batch of 20. So these guys are working on air superiority in that region there. Perfect. So let's actually have a look at what we can do in terms of our construction speed. Another increase option on there, which is great. We're able to destroy, as you can see, 8 more transports. Of course, we probably have had some construction. Oh, no, we haven't actually had any construction there as I thought we were going to have, but okay. More research was completed here. Let's actually commit this here. So if I look at my ships here, so we got this one here is currently in port. So it looks like we got this submarine here. No admiral assigned to it at present. Now it looks like we could potentially move that into here. So let's do that to start off with. For some reason there's some troop movement taking place here. I'm not sure why. These 3 here. Let's say I want to commit these to, of course, having some orders here. I couldn't give them orders because, of course, I'm on the wrong mode. So these 3 gentlemen go from here and try to invade that island. That's our current goal that we set ourselves. This one here is going to basically work on patrolling this region here. Should work out quite nicely. There are some decisions that we can make if we wanted to, but I probably want to wait until I can do something here. So Fascist is promoted there. None of these can be done at the moment, it looks like. Sevastopol. Okay. More construction speed increases there, which would be nice to have. This one would be a nice addition. But what are we doing in terms of the research there? 68 days. I think, looking at the numbers here, I think be able to get that item before we complete it. Complete the research, I mean, here. Alright, more convoys destroyed. Yes, I know I'm basically short in terms of what I basically can get here. How are we doing here? We got 11 factories now. So the fact that I basically reduced my imports has actually helped me be able to commit more of my resources to the actual production of more factories, which of course is great. As you can see, I cannot put anything in there, it looks like. I can actually put more factories on the queue. Of course, I got more military factories I want to basically build as well, which, yeah, I'm just going to hold out on for the moment. So in front of the Mexican coast, we are engaging more, as you can see, more transports, which is fine. So we're going to basically merge these two. So we're going to strengthen basically that fleet here. So they're basically operating in front of the coast here. Hopefully that will not necessarily need to be used, but at least we got the resources here protecting this part of the border. Really, the Caribbean Sea is a bit of a pain point. Alright, the Caribbean Sea we cannot do anything about. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to basically get rid of that particular order here. Full of Leningrad. So it looks like we're, at least the Germans are having some luck in Russia here. Look at that. They're getting relatively close to Moscow as well. German Reich is expanding there nicely. The German Reich consists of present-day Spain, part of France, and of course the rest is Vichy France. Vichy France is nice and big in Africa as well, as you can see. There's still some... Ooh, that is a bit of a change. That chunk there basically just moved over from one party to another. But generally speaking here in Russia, they seem to be doing quite well. Could I actually commit some of my resources here? Can I actually maybe get access to that territory? Oh, I already have that access. So are there places where I can maybe commit some planes here? I don't see any airfields here listed. It's a bit of a pity. I was kind of hoping to be able to maybe put some planes into action on this side as well, but I can't. I don't know where the airfields are. Ah, perfect. So what I wanted to do, of course, like I said, I want to basically get that light aircraft entry there, which should, of course, improve the performance of our planes here. So you should see that basically that will give me additional agility, maximum speed and so forth, particularly for our fighters, so quite useful there. So once that research completes, we should actually see that applied to our fighters there as well. So more success here in terms of getting convoys destroyed. Take them out. So let's see what our committing of... Ooh, good. So we just completed that set of fighters, or the fighter research I should say. I can of course start working here on the next naval bomber type, which is fine I think, but in terms of production I want to of course go for the next tier of the fighters. Now you should see that little icon here, that gives me that additional upgrade already on there. I do want to improve the reliability of these, so let's take that to 96%. As you can see, I can also improve the engines at the same time. If I were to basically improve the weapons or the range, that will actually negatively affect the reliability. Engines doesn't seem to negatively affect them, which is great. I can actually put 2 levels of engines on there. Let's commit this. I've got the points for it, so why not use it? Let's go for the Mark 1 of those fighters. As you can see, that costs me. I basically suffer an efficiency reduction, but we should be able to overcome that relatively easily. Right, our units are moving through there to invade those islands. And once we retake those islands, we should actually see that that will actually help us in terms of our, what was it? The war support, I thought? We were suffering something here. Ah, was it this one here? Yeah, in terms of political power, we're suffering a loss because of the actual occupation that we've got there. Right, we retook these islands, which is great. I don't necessarily need all three there, I think. I think I can do with 2 of them there. So I'm going to take one of these divisions, move it back into here, which should be fine. So I'm leaving 2 of those there on the islands to protect them, because yeah, they are my territory, and yeah, I want to make sure that that stays my territory, really. What could I do to basically improve the defenses here? I can maybe build some coastal forts. So I'm going to put that on the queue, coastal defenses. We should of course see we're still working on that other bits there. Perfect. Production, this should steadily increase. This one here as well. We're at 28.36% at the moment. And the cap of that, of course, it stands at over 100%. And this should, of course, be used for upgrading. And once the efficiency increases, of course, that number here, the number of fighters produced per week, should increase. Now, we should, at this point, be able to, of course, already commit more stuff. So we should be able to commit, for example, naval bombers. So I want to take these naval bombers and commit them to this region here to commit naval strikes. Because yeah, if we don't have naval superiority in this region, what is it that I can do? It's not a massive range I got on these, but at least we should be able to commit to defending part of our coast. I might be able to do a few more from this location here. Protect that section there as well. Let's maybe do so already. So let's take those naval bombers there. Commit them straight away. Naval strikes in that region there. British Parliament debates intervention in Scandinavia. Okay, interesting. As you can see, mission efficiency is relatively low. It is slowly increasing, but that would be increasing, of course, even further if we had more planes committed to there. So I might maybe in the near future also commit some planes from this location here. For the moment being, we're doing okay. We don't have enough planes to commit more than what we've done thus far. So we dive down into that. You should be able to see that these numbers here, this is of course indicating our production, 1.5 per week. But yeah, we are of course still have stockpiles of the older types of fighters and so forth, so that's fine. We should be able to, in terms of national focus, also be able to commit to production. So this is infrastructure and so forth, construction, repair, army training, suppress subjects, master impact, -0.5, okay. What did I do in terms of politics here, in terms of managing the territory? As you can see, I'm being gentle, but I could be at the gentlest. So reduce resistance even further. Let's do that. I could, of course, release nations, which I don't really want to do. American territory, it says I own. Where is that? What American territory do I actually occupy? Ah, Panama. Yes. We lost a naval bomber. Interesting. It's still early days, so that kind of probably makes sense to be losing some. Okay. We're having good success here, it looks like. Let's basically merge these two and enlarge that fleet slightly. anti-democratic raids. Cool, we've completed, of course, our upgrade of our Marines. Let's pause the timeline for a second. So, in terms of what we're doing here with our fighters, let's improve the next one there. Of course, in front of the Mexican coast, we're doing quite nicely here. Just the Caribbean Sea, we're not having much luck there whatsoever. The enemy has committed a fair number of planes, as you can see. So 300 planes, consisting of Mustangs, of Aracobras, etc., etc. So 300 planes versus our 140 planes, plus of course naval bombers. Friendly plane disrupted. Okay, that's not good. Our air detection is relatively low. Their air detection seems to be relatively low as well. Mission efficiency that they've got seems to be fairly high compared to ours. Currently active fighters, it's not just ourselves, it's also Peru and Venezuela that are having active fighters in there. So maybe I should increase my number of active fighters here. So let's maybe commit some extra planes to here. So let's take another batch of 50 in this instance. And these guys here, again, are going to work on aerial superiority over that same region. Cool. Again, construction is improved. We've built in a day. Okay, that's nice to see. Now, we could, of course, work on improving our extraction efficiency, which, of course, helps us with all the resources we extract. Now, what resources are we actually extracting? We're extracting oil, and in this instance, also chromium. We're not exporting any chromium, but we are exporting oil. So let's commit ourselves to, in this instance, some extraction efficiency. It's not the fastest one to get our hands on, but it will help us, of course, having more at our disposal. Currently active fighters, that number is fairly high compared to theirs. They've actually got the support planes. In terms of fighters, we are far, far superior to theirs. Our average air defense is lower than their air attack. Our agility is higher than theirs, and our speed is higher than theirs, which occurs, yes, good. Would love to be able to improve, for example, stuff like our commitment in terms of what we get here in terms of radar, for example. So if we were to have some radar there, have some radar there, some there. Those kind of little things should help us improve overall what we're able to perceive as happening in the region. Of course, we're firstly still working on the factories here. Why is this level so low? I'm not sure. It's quite an amount of time it seems to want to take to be able to build those bits. Anyways, let's increase our game speed once again. Maybe it's a good time for us to say, well, we've reached a good point here. And we lost another naval bomber. Interesting. More of their ships were sunk. Always good to see that. Low manpower. And we are at the 12% now, which is good. We lost more naval bombers. That's not good. Most definitely is not good. That is, of course, ships that were basically destroyed there. Yeah, like I said, we're going to call it a day in a second, so let's pause the game here. Guys, thanks again for joining. Hopefully you at least enjoyed what we did here. Nothing really exciting, I think, but yeah, at least we're basically carrying on with this particular episode here, with this Central American Empire. And at the moment, we're just improving our defenses and so forth here. So guys, thanks again for joining me. See you in the next one, and have a great day. Bye-bye.